All right, everyone. Hello and welcome in. My name is Alexis Miller, and I am going to be your yoga instructor here today. So, welcome to Wild Blue Yonder Media. Today's practice is part of the Full Body Awakening series, and today is the first in our series that focuses on the solar plexus chakra. So, it's a space right around here. So, as we get into our practice today, let's keep in mind our boundaries. Notice where are you ready to extend into postures? Where do you need to modify and come down to the mat? Or perhaps just find a center posture. Also, keep in mind I don't often cue water. So, if and when you feel thirsty, of course, please feel free to step off the mat, grab that drink, and then join us whenever you feel ready. So, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and come into our comfortable seat. Your legs can be crossed or straight out in front of you. We're going to wiggle back and forth, rooting into our sits bones. Maybe you're up on a block. That's what I'm sitting on today. Or maybe you're just down on the mat. Good. And then let's lengthen through the spine. We're going to inhale, draw our shoulders forward and up. Exhale them back and down. One more time. Inhale, shoulders forward and up. Exhale them back and down. Find a comfortable spot for your hands. Maybe that's on your legs or your knees, palms up or down, or in your lap. You're welcome to close the eyes if you'd like, or just find an unmoving point and soften the gaze here. And then gently tuck the chin so you're long through the neck, as if you're trying to be tall enough to get on a ride at a theme park here. In the yogic tradition, there are 7 chakras known as the organizing centers for reception, assimilation, and transmission of life energies. The third in this system is the lustrous gem, or solar plexus chakra, in Sanskrit known as the Manipura. This is a location of will, power, and assertiveness, and it's located in the area between the navel and the solar plexus. It's associated with laughter, joy, and anger, and as well as the element of fire. It's also associated with the color yellow. As we move through practice today, I invite you to bring your awareness into the solar plexus chakra area of your body, the navel to the solar plexus part of your torso. Notice sensations in this area. Notice too if you can feel heat building in your body like an internal fire. So settling in, taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling the belly, lungs, and chest with air. And then slowly exhale that breath back out. Take another deep inhale, fill the belly, lungs, and chest with air. And then slowly exhale that breath back out. Take another deep inhale, feel your belly swell outward like a big balloon. And then exhale as you draw that belly button in toward the spine. Inhale as you feel your torso expand, your collarbones gently lift. And then exhale as you feel your shoulders release down and away from your ears. Inhaling air in your nose, down your throat, filling your lungs. And then exhale as you feel that air come out of your lungs, move up your throat and out your nose. Continue to breathe like this, inhaling and exhaling with intention, really noticing the movements of your breath here. If your mind gets distracted by a thought, a noise, a physical sensation, it happens. The moment that you've noticed you've gone away, that's mindfulness. Celebrate the noticing and then come back to focusing on your breath, back to feeling into the inhale and the exhale. Now, if it feels right for you, perhaps incorporating a mantra here to help you stay grounded and focused on the breath. Inhale, I am. Exhale, a lustrous gem. Inhale, I am. Exhale, a lustrous gem. Remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments today. Take another deep inhale here, setting an intention or a purpose for your practice today, which really can be anything at all, but it often answers the question, why did I get on my mat? Take another deep inhale as you feel that intention with your heart and mind, and then exhale the breath out, set the intention off to the side, knowing we'll return to it toward the end of our practice. Nice work. We're going to go ahead and remove that prop. If you're sitting on one, make sure to move it out to the side. Make sure the rest of your props are also out to the side here. Coming into a comfortable seat, maybe your legs are crossed or they're straight out in front of you. We're going to inhale, sweep our arms wide, bring them up overhead here, and then exhale, drop that left arm down to the side, step it about a foot away from your body, and then lean over to the left as you reach through those right fingers for your seated side bend. So as you're reaching, feel the pull through the right side of the body. Gently press into the bottom hand to keep your right hip rooted down onto the mat here. Bottom elbow can always drop down to the mat underneath the shoulder if that's accessible for you. It will deepen the posture, but of course, not a requirement. And let's take a couple deep breaths here. Great work. And then we inhale, come up into center, both arms tall. Exhale, drop your right hand down to the mat. Again, step it about a foot away from your right side and then lean over to the right as you reach through those left fingers for your seated side bend. Same thing, opposite side. We're feeling that pull now through the left side of the body. We're pressing excuse me, pressing into that right hand to keep that left hip rooted down onto the mat. Again, we can stay here if it's accessible. Bottom elbow can come down onto the floor here. It's really up to you. It's beneath the shoulder, feeling into that side body stretch, no matter where you are. Just a couple deep breaths here. Great work. And then we inhale, press back up into center, reach both arms up tall, reach toward the sky, and then exhale, hands come back down into neutral. Great work. So we're going to come into Lord of the Half Fishes pose, a very intricate name for a great twist here. So go ahead and start with your knees out in little mountains. We're going to step our left leg wide so it's out of the way, and then we're going to curve our right heel around to our left hip. Our knee is kind of like right in front of us here. We're then going to take that left foot and step it over the right knee here. So now I have that foot on the ground. I'm sitting up nice and tall. My heel is curled around. If the right leg does not curl around, you can always have that leg extended straight out in front of you. Okay, totally fine. All right, so we're sitting here. We're going to inhale, sweep our arms tall, and then exhale, twist over to the left. Bring that right elbow to the outside of the left knee here, and then press elbow into knee, twisting around. This left hand comes down to the mat behind you, either resting on the floor or maybe you curve it all the way around and kind of reach toward your right side body. That's going to deepen that stretch there. This left arm or right arm stays up, palm is open here. We're feeling into that nice deep twist through the spine. Just a couple deep breaths here. Maybe curving that nose all the way around as far as you're able, really feeling that twist all the way up into the cervical spine there. One more inhale. Good. Exhale. Gently release. Leave the legs right where they are. Come over to the right. Plant the hands. Bend at the elbows for just a little release here. Opposite pose, opposite twist, movement, and then come back into neutral. Great. We'll switch sides. So step that left foot out, then bring the right foot out and sweep this left leg around, bringing that heel toward the hip here. Then step that right foot over the left knee. So again, we're in this posture on the opposite side. And again, if this is not accessible for you, just extend that left leg long to the end of the mat. We'll inhale as we sweep our arms tall, and then exhale as we twist over to the right. Bring that left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Press into that knee there, twisting yourself around. Again, this right hand comes down onto the mat, or maybe it's twists all the way around and rests right onto that left hand side. Left palm and fingers are open. Here, we're feeling that nice twist through the spine, and maybe we're curving the head all the way around as far as we're able, feeling that twist all the way up into the neck. Couple deep breaths here. One more deep inhale. Exhale, gently release. Bring those arms up tall. Exhale, just twist right over to the left. Plant those hands down. Bend at the elbows, just a little counter posture here. And then inhale up into neutral. Great work. Uncross those legs. Let's go ahead and come onto our hands and knees. We'll bring hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips, tops of the feet come right on down onto the mat here. We'll inhale as we sink our belly, lift our head and our hips, coming into cow. And then exhale, lift the back, sink the head and the hips, coming into cats. Inhale into cow, sink the belly, look up toward the sky. Exhale into cat, feel the back press away, shoulder blades separate. Inhale into cow, looking up, feeling that decompression, the low spine. And then exhale into cat, press the mat away here. Good. And then inhale right into neutral. Great work. When you're ready on the next inhale, tuck the toes. On the exhale, lift the hips, come into your down dog. Now, this may be the first down dog of our day and week. So let's go ahead and walk out our dog, bending one knee and then the other, opening up the backs of our legs here. Let's take a nice deep inhale and a nice deep exhale. A nice deep inhale. And then a nice deep exhale as we come into our stationary down dog. So setting up the posture, arms are strong, all 10 pads of the fingers gently grip the mat. We're not looking up toward our hands, but instead we're tucking our chin, looking toward our toes. Shrug the shoulders down onto the back, press the chest toward the thighs. Feel the heels reach toward the floor, even if they don't touch, that's okay. We want to avoid this arching in the back here, right? So instead of kind of hunching forward into the shoulders, instead pressing into the palms of the hand and trying to touch the chest to the thighs here. So we have that nice long back here. And then feel that pulling up here in that sacral chakra space here. Maybe even take a hand and place it there. Notice the ab work that's happening here. And then let's take a couple deep breaths here, really breathing into that solar plexus chakra space. Excuse my mistake here. So taking a couple deep breaths, noticing that space between the navel and the solar plexus. Good. Just a couple more deep breaths here. Notice if you're starting to fall out of form. Go ahead and continue to find that good form. Notice where that tension starts to rise as we work the muscles here. Good. Another deep inhale. Exhale. Good. On the next inhale, look up between the hands. Go Go ahead and lower the hips down so they're now in line with the shoulders here coming into your plank pose. Good. So we're one long line from our shoulders to our heels. If you'd like to modify, you drop the knees and untuck the toes coming into that modified plank, but keeping the knees at a bit of an angle here so you continue to engage that core. Good. Really feel the work here in that solar plexus chakra. If you need to modify, if this is hard on the wrist, do feel free to come down onto the forearms here. Let's just take a couple deep breaths here together. Really breathe nice and deep. Squeeze elbows and toes toward one another as if you're trying to curl up your mat beneath you. Feel those abs fire on, especially the upper abs here. Woo, hanging on to it. One more deep breath here. Exhale, go ahead, drop those knees, untuck the toes. Let's sink back into a child's pose here. Elongate the arms, forehead comes down toward the floor. If the forehead doesn't reach, you can, of course, stack the forearms or the fists. You can also use a prop like a block underneath your forehead here, just to help the head come down into a space of rest so the neck can come into ease here. So notice what feels right for your body. And then let's just take a couple moments here, checking in, noticing what's present. How does it feel to be you in this moment today? Are there any particular sensations that are calling your attention? And if there are, where in your body do they reside? Good. And then inhale, let's go ahead and come up onto the forearms here. So now we're going to get ready for dolphin pose, kind of like downward dog, but a little bit more intense here. If this posture is inaccessible to you, please do feel free to return to down dog and hang out there for the duration of this posture. So placing the forearms down onto the mat, they're beneath the shoulders, fingers are spread wide. We're going to tuck the toes on the inhale, and then on the exhale, lift up the hips coming into your dolphin pose. So you may need to step your feet in like I just did, pressing firmly into the mat. Gazes toward the toes, shrug the shoulder blades down onto the back, and continue to press into the mat, moving the chest toward the thighs here. Woo, this is a challenging posture. Reaching those heels toward the floor, even if they do not touch. Might be hard to see, but there is some space between my heels and the mat. This is a challenging posture, deep through the hamstrings. And then once again, noticing how that solar plexus chakra space feels, breathing into it, feeling that lifting here as you're kind of upside down, taking a couple deep breaths, nice deep inhales and nice deep exhales. One more deep inhale here. Great work. Exhale, go ahead, drop those knees down to the mat here. Go ahead and come up onto the hands and knees, and then step your right foot forward. You may want to grab your blocks here, option, not requirement, of course. And then inhale, lift right up into your low lunge. So as you come into this posture, check in. Make sure that your knee is in line with your ankle. We're sinking the hips down, feeling that opening on the left side. Blocks come down to either side of you beneath the shoulders. Hands can press in as much as you'd like, again, to help prevent that opening too deep here into the low or into that hip flexor in the top of the thigh on the left side. So we're sitting down here into this low lunge. We're nice and open. And now if we really want to tune it up into this solar plexus chakra space, we're going to go ahead and lift through the torso, getting that back bend in here, feeling that pull through the front side of the body. Maybe moving those blocks back slightly for more support, kind of keeping them under the shoulders no matter where you are, elbows slightly bent, just a couple deep breaths here. Great. Inhale, go ahead. Pop those blocks so they're on either side of your leg, moving forward slightly. Shift back onto that left knee, straighten the front leg, flex the front foot. Press the chest down toward the leg just for a little opposite pose here, coming into dragon. Feel that pull through the back of the leg. One deep breath here. Great. And then inhale, press up, step your right knee back, and then step your left foot forward, and then sink right into that low lunge on the opposite side. So check in. Notice how my knee is in front of my ankle here. So I'm going to heel toe my foot forward slightly. So now my knee and my ankle have that nice alignment. So I'm protecting that knee joint. I've moved my blocks once again so they're beneath the shoulders. I'm pressing into them as much as I need. So I'm not sinking down too much, but I'm feeling that really nice opening in my right hip flexor now, top of the thigh. So again, you're welcome to stay right here. If you want to amp it up a little bit here, we're going to lift through the torso on the inhale, gently leaning back. And maybe we step those blocks back here slightly, keeping them in line with the shoulders, elbows slightly bent. Now we're feeling that pull through the front side of the body. Wherever you are, just a couple deep breaths, trying to keep that knee in line with the hips here. Deep inhale. Exhale, go ahead and release. Step those blocks forward. Shift your weight onto your right knee. Flex the front foot here. And then hinge forward at the hips. Press forward at the heart center. Just a little counter pose in dragon. Feeling that pull through the backside now of that left leg. Just a breath here. Great work. And then we inhale, go ahead and step that left knee back. Great work. Go ahead and step one of your blocks off to the side here. We're actually going to come down onto our mat here on our seat. So we're getting ready for fish pose. A couple of things to note here. If you have anything that's wrong with your neck, any kind of injuries or things to be careful of, please feel free to skip this pose entirely. You can take a child's pose if you'd like. You can come to rest on your back and recline bound angle. Know what's right for you. Another thing, we're going to use a block here today, but you certainly don't have to. It kind of helps with the feeling through the low or through the upper back. But again, it's an option, not a requirement. A rolled up tower or a bolster will also get the job done. All right, so let's go ahead and extend our feet long. Flexing them out toward the mat. And we're going to bring that block down so it's long on the short side, right? But it's long ways, so it's vertically in line with our spine. And then we're going to go ahead and lower down onto our forearms. Now we're going to adjust that block so it's along our spine and kind of moving up between our shoulder blades here. So for this posture, we're already in a version of fish. Maybe this is where you're at today and you're starting to feel that opening in the shoulders, as well as maybe a little bit of engagement through that solar plexus chakra space. Now, the next option is you're going to go ahead and tip that head up as far as you're able. Maybe you just look toward the sky, or maybe you're able to dip your head back further. To dip your head back, we want to make sure that we're lifting through the chest at the same time, getting that deeper arch through the spine. Okay, so a couple options here. We can dip that head all the way back. Maybe we're touching the block, maybe we're not, right? Maybe our back is on it, maybe it's not. Now, you're welcome to rest that top of the head down onto the mat, or you can slide those arms forward until the head rests down, or perhaps it's the back here that rests down first with that support. If it feels right for you, you can always adjust that. You can always adjust that block to the middle height here. Again, that's going to be a little bit more of a support here. It's also going to be a bit of a deeper stretch. And again, tipping that head back, allowing the crown of the head to come down onto the floor. Arms come forward here, so those biceps are at a bit of an angle. The block should be between the shoulder blades along the spine. And maybe you're not doing this with the block at all, right? And so if that is the case, you're going to go ahead, lift through the torso, looking back here, and start to slowly slide those arms forward as the crown of the head reaches down onto the floor. Wherever you are, flexing the feet here, feel that pull through the solar plexus chakra space, looking back behind you or eyes closed. Let's just take a couple deep breaths here. One more deep inhale. Great. Wherever you are, start to slide those elbows back, engage the core, engage the neck, looking forward slowly. Take a deep breath here before coming up. Great. And then go ahead, press yourself on up into center. Keep those legs straight and then come into a seated forward fold just for a little counter posture here for the back and for the hips. If you just gave boat pose a try, great job. It is not an easy one. So way to get at it. And you can always come back to this posture to kind of deepen, or back to this class to deepen into that posture and practice it more. Let's take one more deep breath here. Good. And then inhale, let's go ahead and come up. We're going to make our way down onto our back. So if you need a towel off, grab a drink of water, put on socks or a jacket for final relaxation. Now is your moment. We will not sit up for the rest of our practice. So coming on down onto your back, let's tuck the knees into the chest, wrap the arms around the legs, give ourselves a little squeeze, maybe rocking from side to side here. Just a little roly-poly action, a little release. Feeling that nice massage through the back here. Great. And then on the next inhale, let's go ahead, drop those soles of the feet down to the floor here. All right, so we're gonna make our way into final relaxation. You have a few options. You can stay right here, knees and little mountain, soles of the feet are on the floor. You're welcome to allow the knees to fall open wide, soles of the feet to come together, recline down angle. You can extend one leg long and keep the other in for fallen tree, or you can extend both legs long for traditional final relaxation. Find a position for your arms that feels comfortable for you. I love having mine up and out to the side so my armpits are open. Just notice what feels right. You're also welcome to roll onto your side or onto your belly, or you can just return back into a seated position and treat this like a final seated meditation. Really, it's whatever feels good for you, as this is your final relaxation. So make your way into that posture now and settle in. And as you do, begin to notice that rhythm and that cadence that the breath settles into. How fast or slow it is. How deep or shallow. Noticing the quality of each breath on your inhale. The quality of each breath on your exhale. Feeling the gentle rise and fall of your belly. The gentle rise and fall of your chest. Just really notice that air moving in and out. Feel yourself breathing. No need to do anything. Maybe even tune into this solar plexus chakra space. And if the mind wanders off, it's okay. It happens. Notice the moment you've gone away. That's mindfulness. Celebrate it. And then come back to the breath, back to focusing on your inhales and your exhales. If it feels right for you, perhaps reincorporating the mantra that we used at the beginning of our practice. Inhale, I am. Exhale, illustrious gem. Inhale, I am. Exhale, illustrious gem. Remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments here today. I'm going to get quiet for this final part of your practice so you can have it to yourself. Please know I'm watching the time. I respect yours, and I will let you out of this posture before the end of practice. So lean back, let go, just rest right here. When you can accept your unskillfulness and shortcomings, compassion and insight are born in your heart. If you have not achieved reconciliation within yourself, it will be difficult to reconcile with another person. With internal reconciliation, peace and love become possible. When you embody peace and love, you can change any situation more easily. bringing your awareness back to this space, taking a deep inhale through your nose, filling your belly, lungs, and chest with air, and slowly exhaling your breath back out. Take another deep inhale as you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, move your arms and legs, taking another deep breath here. And as you get ready, perhaps rolling over onto one side, pausing there for a moment with an arm or a hand beneath your head. Taking another deep inhale as you make your way on up into a seated position here. And as we close out our practice together today. So coming into your comfortable seat, legs can be crossed or straight out in front of you. We'll root into our sits bones and sit up nice and tall. Inhale as those shoulders come forward and up, and then exhale as they drop back and down. Hands can come onto the legs, into the lap or at heart center. Closing the eyes if that feels comfortable for you. We take a moment to express gratitude for yet another lovely day here on earth, for our body that allows us to do so many things, including yoga. Thank you all so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice today. It was a joy and an honor, and I hope to be able to do so again in the future. The light in me, it sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this solar plexus chakra class. I'm so excited to have you here today. I hope that you got just the absolute most out of this practice and that you thoroughly enjoyed it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow Wild Blue Yonder Media. And if you know someone who would like this practice, be sure to share it. That's how people discover me. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing you in the next practice. Bye.